Welcome to Bird's Eye View. I'm Sam Nunes. So I'm releasing this on the second day of autumn, so happy second day of autumn if you're listening today. If you're not, then happy third day, fourth day, or whatever day you're listening. And if you're not even listening in fall, then happy whatever season you're in at that time. This is a very special time of the year because it's the fall equinox. It's truly the midpoint between the beginning of summer and the beginning of winter, and the night and day are both balanced. They're both about 12 hours each. And yes, that's probably more accurate for yesterday than today, but I mean, it's one day off, so give me a break. But autumn, at least autumn in this region of the world, in New England in the United States, is characterized for its bright colors and vibrant nature, amongst other things, including pumpkin spice and apple cider. Can't forget apple cider. But have you ever wondered why the trees are so colorful at this time of the year and what's causing that? Well, that's what we're here to talk about today. So, why is autumn so colorful? Autumn's role as the transition between summer and fall is expressed magnificently through the bright and vibrant colors. In the summer, the many plants of the forests, meadows, and lands paint the environment with green. But when autumn comes, the colors change into individual shades of red, orange, brown, and yellows. Some stay green all year long. So why do these colors change? And why do we have these colors at all? Let's get into it. The colors in plants are the colors that are reflected away from the leaves and to our eyes. So what this means is that the greens that we see are actually because this is the only form of visible light that is not absorbed for photosynthesis, so it's being reflected away. This green comes from little organelles in the cells of the leaves called chloroplasts, or more specifically, the chlorophyll that's within them. This is where photosynthesis takes place, which is how the plant converts sunlight into sugar. I wish I could do that. In autumn, the angle of the earth is positioned in such a way that it causes the sunlight to reach us for a shorter amount of time. The sun is also at a lower angle of the sky, and this disperses the sun energy over a greater area. Think of holding a flashlight and you're holding it straight down on the ground and the circle is smaller, but then if you angle it, that circle becomes larger. It's the same amount of light energy that's hitting the ground, but it's spaced out over a larger area. So the circle that's the same size as when you're pointing the flashlight straight down is not getting as much light energy as it is when the flashlight or the sun is angled to the side. I hope you guys got that. All of this means that there's less sun energy to produce sugar, so it's more energy efficient to drop all the leaves. And actually, there is chlorophyll in the bark and the branches of the tree as well. This is why when you break a branch that's still living, you see that green layer underneath. There is some. It's not as efficient. It's not as much as in the leaves, but they can still photosynthesize a little bit in the winter. But anyways, like I said, at this time the trees are dropping all of their leaves, and to do this, the tree cuts off the energy flow to the leaves and starts to store its excess sugars in its roots, which is where it will be used to make new leaves in the spring, which is also what we use to make maple syrup. Because of this, the green chlorophyll dies and decays, which reveals colors that have actually been in the leaves while they were still green. They were underneath the chloroplasts or hidden by them. And then some that are actually produced as a process of the changing in temperature and the amount of sunlight as well. So yellow and orange are from pigments in the leaves called carotenoids. I'm trying not to get too chemistry here, but these are just the names of them. There's no tests, so just bear with me here. But these carotenoids that are the yellow and orange pigments are also found in other familiar colorful plants, such as corn and carrots. The red anthocyanins that's hard to say, anthocyanins, are found in cherries and are produced when the sugar is trapped in the leaves after the connection's been cut off. So the sugar that's in the leaf, not all of it makes it out and some's left over. And that is used to make these anthocyanins. Now, of course, it's not always just red, orange, yellow. It's often a mix of these, and that just means that all of these pigments are in the leaves. Or it's possible to have no pigments in the leaves, and that would get you the brown leaves. And actually, eventually they all become brown leaves once everything decays. Now, the environment can also impact the colors that we see in autumn as well. The temperature needs to drop for the red anthocyanins to form, but if it drops too low and it goes below freezing too early in the season, that actually blocks the creation of anthocyanins. So if it's too warm and if it's too cold, we won't get those bright reds. Now, drought can also cause the leaves to drop without changing color, so they're going to drop early, and that's when you see a lot of times those small bundles of leaves, especially on oak trees is where I've noticed them, that they'll fall, just these bunches and bundles of leaves. And that's a defense mechanism. There's no, if there's not a lot of water, then they're not able to support all of those leaves. And also, water is part of the process of photosynthesis, so they're not making enough sugar, as I said, to support all of these leaves. This is why some years or some locations are more colorful than others. It's not always the same. I'm hoping for a good season this year. We'll see. We are in a drought this year, so we'll see how that impacts the colors. The colors of autumn are one of the defining characteristics of the season. It is amazing how small pigments have such a large impact on our experience of nature. The green chlorophyll that photosynthesized during the sunny summer months mask the orange and yellows that are revealed with the reds that are produced as part of the vibrant transition to the winter months. We are very fortunate to be able to experience this in New England. Thank you for listening.